Imagine Yggdrasil, a gigantic ash tree that serves as the cosmic tree holding 9 different worlds. Life on it is very vibrant. At the very top is Asgard, home of the Aesir gods. This is where their golden halls are located and where powerful artifacts are kept. Next to it lies Vanaheim, where their ancient rivals, the Vanir gods, dwell. In the middle of the tree sits Midgard, the world of humans. It's encircled by the giant serpent Jormungandr, who wraps around the entire world, holding his own tail in his teeth. The gods frequently visit Midgard, observing human lives and intervening in their fates. Below lies Helheim, the realm of the dead, where all who didn't die in battle end up. It's ruled by Hel, Loki's daughter, whose face is half beautiful and half dead. Jotunheim is home to the frost giants, the eternal adversaries of the gods. They're like troublesome neighbors who either try to steal divine treasures or propose marriage to goddesses. All worlds are connected by Yggdrasil's branches and roots. At the roots lives the dragon Nidhogg, who constantly gnaws at them. An eagle dwells at the top, and between them scurries Ratatoskr the squirrel, delivering messages, a true cosmic postal service of the ancient Norse. 3 Norns, goddesses of fate, water the tree from a sacred spring, sustaining life in all 9 worlds. The rainbow bridge, Bifrost, crosses through the worlds, guarded by the god Heimdall. His sight is so sharp that he can see 100 miles ahead and even hear grass growing. Odin, the supreme god of the Norse and a true workaholic, is constantly busy and eternally seeking new knowledge. He has 2 ravens as scouts, Hugin and Munin. Every day they fly around all the worlds and report back to him with news. Odin paid a high price for wisdom. He sacrificed his eye to drink from the well of knowledge. But even that wasn't enough. He hung for 9 days on Yggdrasil, pierced by his own spear, to learn the secret of the runes. His wife Frigg is the goddess of marriage and hearth. She knows the fate of every being but reveals it to no one, not even Odin. They have several sons, and the most famous among them is Thor, the god of thunder. In Valhalla, Odin's golden hall, gather the souls of brave warriors who died in battle. They're called the Einherjar, and they prepare for the final battle, Ragnarok. Valkyries, warrior maidens who choose the worthy right on the battlefield, deliver heroes to Valhalla. Odin rides Sleipnir, an 8-legged horse, the fastest of all steeds. He also has a magical spear called Gungnir that never misses its mark. However, despite all his power, Odin knows he cannot escape his fate. On the day of Ragnarok, he will fall in battle with the wolf Fenrir. By the way, he learned of this prophecy in quite an unusual way. He descended to the realm of the dead and awakened in ancient Cirrus. Now that's what I call determination in seeking information. Thor is the strongest of the gods and Asgard's main defender. His famous hammer Mjolnir isn't just a fearsome weapon, but also an excellent multi-purpose tool. Just like a divine scale Swiss Army knife. There's just one catch. Only Thor can lift the hammer. Once, a giant named Thrym stole Mjolnir and demanded the goddess Freya as his bride for its return. Thor had to disguise himself as the bride. Loki, dressed as a handmaiden, accompanied him to the wedding. When the hammer was brought to the fake bride to bless the marriage, Thor revealed the deception and slew all the giants. Thor has a magical belt of strength and iron gloves for wielding his hammer. He also has a chariot pulled by 2 magical goats, Tangrisnir and Tangjostr. You can eat them for dinner and resurrect them from their bones in the morning. Just remember not to break the bones. The most epic fishing trip in mythological history occurred when Thor went fishing for the world serpent Jormungandr. He used an ox head as bait and nearly pulled up the serpent, but his giant companion got scared and cut the line. Since then, Thor hasn't been particularly fond of fishing or giants. Loki is the most controversial figure in Norse mythology. He's neither god nor giant, but something in between. As an adopted brother, he lives in Asgard but constantly creates problems. If you've ever lived with a cat, you know that from the cat's perspective, you live in the cat's house, not the other way around. Loki's children are a true nightmare for the gods. There's the enormous wolf Fenrir, who was barely bound with a magical chain. The world serpent Jormungandr, who encircles all of Midgard, and Hel, the ruler of the world of the dead. Just imagine those awkward family reunions. Loki loves causing trouble. He orchestrated the death of the god's favorite, beautiful Balder, by convincing the blind god Hooder to throw a mistletoe branch at him. He shaved Thor's wife Sif's golden hair completely off just for a joke, though afterward he had to negotiate with dwarves to create new hair from pure gold. The strangest story happened when Loki transformed into a mare to distract a giant stallion. As a result, he gave birth to the eight-legged horse Sleipnir, who became Odin's favorite steed. Yes, such things do happen in Norse mythology. Finally, the gods' patience ran out. After Balder's murder, they caught Loki and chained him to a rock. They hung a serpent above him, whose venom drips onto his face. His wife Sigyn collects the venom in a bowl, but when the bowl fills up, the venom still falls on Loki, and his convulsions cause earthquakes. Freya is the goddess of love and beauty, riding in a chariot pulled by two giant cats. She owns the magical necklace Brasingamen, for which she paid an unusual price, spending one night with each of its four dwarf creators. Balder was the most beautiful and beloved of the gods. His mother Frigg made all beings and objects swear not to harm him, but she forgot about a young mistletoe shoot. What could be more harmless, right? This oversight was exactly what Loki used in his malicious joke. Tyr is the god of law and justice, who sacrificed his right hand for the common good. When the gods decided to bind Fenrir, only Tyr dared to place his hand in the wolf's mouth as a guarantee. Fenrir bit off the hand when he realized he'd been tricked, but at least he was securely bound. Heimdall is the guardian of the Rainbow Bridge and Loki's primary enemy. He has golden teeth and never sleeps. They say they will kill each other in the final battle. Giants are the eternal rivals of the gods, though the gods often intermarry with them. One master builder among the giants undertook to build a wall around Asgard in just one summer. The price? The sun, moon, and beautiful Freya as his wife. The gods agreed, thinking it impossible, but the giant with his magical horse almost succeeded. Loki had to intervene. Remember the story above about the miraculous birth of Odin's horse Sleipnir? The most famous of the monsters is the giant wolf Fenrir. He grew so quickly and became so fierce that the gods decided to bind him. Twice he broke through ordinary chains, but the third magical chain, Gleipnir, made by dwarves from impossible things, cat's footsteps, woman's beard, mountain roots, proved too much for him. Ragnarok, in Norse mythology, it's the doom of the gods and the entire world, following the final battle between gods and monsters. Ragnarok will begin with a great winter lasting 3 years. Fenrir will swallow the sun, another wolf will eat the moon, stars will fall from the sky, and the world's serpent Jormungandr will crawl onto land, poisoning everything around with his venom. Loki will break free from his bonds and lead an army of the dead on a ship made from dead men's nails. Heimdall will blow his horn, calling gods and Einherjar to the final battle. Odin will fall into Fenrir's jaws, but his son Vidar will avenge him by tearing apart the wolf's mouth. Thor will kill the world serpent, but will also fall from its poison. But this isn't the end. After the great battle, the world will be reborn. Balder will return from the realm of the dead. Thor's children will inherit his hammer, a new sun will rise over a new world, and everything will begin anew. If you like this, you'll love what's coming next. Subscribe so you don't miss it.